just to try to reach it. So speak sincerely. Cause I'm still waiting, yeah, for you to come around and save me. Will you stay with me? I'm lost here in America. Will you stay with me now? Cause I'm lost here in America. Stay with me. I'm lost here in America. Stay with me now. Cause I'm lost here in America. So I crawl to the underground to find it hard to breathe. Cause there's too much dust in the air. And we can't.
If you can't see me, I'm just setting up. Let me give you a preview. Omni Williams, State versus Omni Williams, they found her guilty on the 18th of this month. They gave her 30 years. But I'm going to let her tell it to you because I'm waiting on a phone call at 6 o'clock. So now my job is this Monday morning, the next Monday, I'm gonna have a writ of habeas corpus filed. Now I'm gonna let her tell it to you how they conducted themselves during this whole trial. Um, Amy Conway, I see you. I'm looking on the screen, so I'm gonna get up in here to because I'm waiting on this call to come in. So I want to set it up. Come on. As y'all can see, these courts is not what you think. If you don't know what's going on, they'll give you an attorney, and that attorney job is to sell you out. Never waive a speedy trial. I'm just sitting there. I might not use that light. Okay. I'm hoping the audio. Oh no, that might be too bright. I don't like the lightning in here, but I guess that's gonna have to do for now. Oh boy. So, her trial was actually just a straight lynching. They did this thing that they call, first of all, the attorney kept falling asleep throughout the trial. And remember, the judge is in on this too. So I'm going to let her tell it because I didn't go back for the next 2 days of the trial because I had that last video footage up that I uploaded. And that's going to be very instrumental in attacking this conviction. They're not concerned about Everybody that they had testify was incompetent. And it's sad, but this is what goes down. So, but the writ of habeas corpus that I have to file is got to be in that same courtroom. And when she called me and told me that, and here go the crazy part. When they found her guilty, this is a practice. I didn't know. Is she legal? I didn't know that they do this. They took her, once she got found guilty, they put her in suicide watch. So one of the prisoners called me and said, hey, they put Karen in suicide watch. I said, for what? They said she got found guilty, and that is what they do in the Dallas County jail, but that's illegal. And so for a day, we had no contact. She called me earlier, and she told me what happened. So I told her, hold up, I think the light can be better. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. She called me today probably about 1 o'clock, but I told her to call me back because I want to get the footage. And when she told me what happened, and like I said, before the trial, the jury trial started on the 17th, the prosecutor, the DA, and the judge was also in on it. They came to her, and they tried to trick her into signing that this is the evidence, that she agreed that she can't attack it in the future, like on a writ, which I'm going to do, which they know this going to happen because I had already informed her lawyer earlier that when this happens, this is what I'm going to do. So they, like I said, she didn't sign anything, but I do believe they probably forged her signature. Now, ask yourself, people, why would the judge, the district attorney, and but when you hear it from her own words, it's going to shock you. It didn't shock me, but because this is how they do. And so at 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock now, so I'm expecting a call to come in. She said after they convicted her, the judge, her lawyer went over there and pat the DA on the back. Hey, that's a good case. But this is what they do, people, because not too many people are looking at the judicial system the way they should be, and because it calls for great concern, because this shows you even an innocent person. And as you see in the last video I uploaded, if you look at it all the way, sometimes you got to skip something. You'll see where the attorney never intended for me to testify. He told me to stay away from him. And then I caught him and his paralegal, the flunky in line at the end. And I called him. They say, hey, if it's 2 L's in Philip, we didn't get it. If it's 1 L in Philip, we got it. So I said it's 1 L, so you got it. So I also emailed the clerk and sent them a copy of the email and the correspondence. And like I said, people, the judge is deeply involved. So when I make that sworn affidavit with that writ of habeas corpus, it'll be on the penalty of perjury. If you notice in that last video, the judge didn't want to put me on the oath. She knew what was going on, and she knew that I was about to tell the truth. So they know that this writ of habeas corpus was coming, and it's very powerful. Why would a DA, it is illegal to tell somebody to sign something prior to trial, before the evidence is heard, to sign this saying you want to attack the evidence. You know why they want to attack the evidence? Because all that stuff was incompetent. They had people testifying that's not qualified to testify. They claimed that they did the forensic interviews. But here go what the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals said about all that. None of that has a standard, and it's he say, she say. And so they claim to have did these interviews with the child where the child just spoke this and that. But her daughter right now was 15, went in there to testify. But see, let me tell y'all the primary reason why her mother, Omni, is doing this here. First of all, she's trying to keep custody of the kids. And not only that, they got this victim crime compensation that they get. See, it's a motivation. And this was this prosecutor first case. And the way that they started the whole trial, it was just pure madness, because it was exciting because they knew they had the case won, because you got a lawyer who never defended, who's helping them. When I say that the judge, the lawyer, and the DA all conspired to deprive this woman of her right, it's not just her, people. If you do your research in the Dallas County Jail, Judge Clay Jenkins stated that after the pandemic, Even in 2022, 2022, 23, the judges just was sitting on the criminal docket, the felony docket, and not moving it along. Everybody that's locked up and they didn't move it along, the lawyers help them by not filing those. That's why I kept asking that lawyer, why you never filed for speedy trial? He basically saying, you look at the statement, oh, this is about expedient as it get. 4 years? 3 years? But I say, well, you never filed a motion. He said it didn't matter. So you telling me a defendant's constitutional rights to protect them doesn't matter? That's ineffective assistance of counsel. So what they did, even the judge knew they wouldn't let me testify. Even Omni Williams already stated he never intended me to testify. I'm having a problem. I got to ounce. Jeez, I got to ounce this. It hung up. For some reason, they're going to call back. That phone hung up. I know I didn't hang it up. They was calling through and I tried to answer it, but it hung up. And that was okay. Need to be this is the one I need. I'm gonna wait again. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna just give them a few more minutes. That's still there, but I'm not getting any sound. That's odd. Hello? I'm not getting any sound.
Want your number from receiving calls from this facility, press 6. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Simmons?
Yes. How you doing?
How you doing?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, state your name, first and last name, and case number.
Okay. My name is Omni Williams, and my case number is S2221231.
Give me a second. I'm gonna make some adjustments. Just could you keep talking? Could you
Okay.
just say keep testing, say testing 1, 2, 3 over until I tell you to stop.
Okay. Test 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh. 2, 3.
Okay, that's gonna be good. Okay, could you tell us what happened? Well, first of all, give me your first name, last name, and case number.
Yes, my name is Omni Williams, and the case number is S2221231.
Could you tell us what happened on the day of the first day of the trial, before the trial even began? Tell us what the district attorney, the judge, and your attorney attempted to do.
Okay. So before the trial began, before they actually called in the jury, they asked me to sign a paper. So the DA motioned to my attorney to ask if I had already signed the document. So he just signed it and handed it to me. He didn't say anything. He was like, you need to sign by the X. So then I took it upon myself to go ahead and read that document. The first few pages were about evidence that they were going to show or could possibly show during the trial. And then the last page was stating that I would be waiving my right to a discovery in any additional evidence in the event that I was found guilty and convicted. If I wanted to file an appeal, I would not be able to add additional evidence or add a discovery.
Well, let me ask you something. Did you sign the document?
No, I did not.
And when you refused to sign the document, what happened?
Well, when I refused to sign the document, the female DA got upset. The attorney also, my attorney, Philip Barton, got upset as well and said, oh, she just refused to sign anything. And so then that's when the male DA told his protege, it's okay, just okay. And so then from there, that's when they motioned to the judge that they were ready, and that's when they called in the jury.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand you. Even before the trial started, they tried to get you to agree not to attack the evidence of the state if you wanted to appeal or attack it later.
Correct.
Okay, could you tell me how your attorney was conducting trial? Like, can you kind of give us an overall what was happening with your attorney when he was refusing to? Go ahead.
Definitely. Well, first of all, he kept falling asleep. He was like nodding off or dozing off during the trial. And then also, he did not do opening statements. He did not do a closing statement. He only asked the witnesses like 2 or 3 questions, basically just reiterating what the DA said. I mean, he literally was like the third DA representative. He actually did not do anything in my case whatsoever. He had no questions written down, no evidence. He had none of my witnesses. He did not call anybody to the stand. The only time that he even addressed the jury at all was right before they went in for their deliberation. This man really did not do anything at all to help me with my case. Then, after the conviction, this man gets up from the table. I'm still sitting right there. Goes over to the DA, wraps his arm around him, pats him on the back, and tells him congratulations on his conviction.
Well, let me ask you something. Did your attorney give any reason why he wouldn't let me testify?
The only reason that he said that he wasn't going to let you testify is because you wasn't there. That's when I said, no, he's not here because you told him to stay away from you. I told him that you have not even reached out to him or any of our witnesses at all. And I said, you don't wait until the day before trial or the day before the witness is supposed to stand on the get on the stand before you procure the witnesses.
Well, let me ask you this here: when they was trying to trick or force you to sign them documents before trial, where was the judge at?
The judge was sitting up there on the judge's seat.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat that?
Yes, the judge was sitting right there in the judge's seat.
See,
on the judge's bench.
At this point, people, the judge is fully involved in this ship. It's improper. See, the reason why they tried to trick her to not saying that she had to sign this, not to attack the evidence, why would she have to do that and she don't know what the evidence is? That's because they already know that that evidence is incompetent. It's not admissible. But her attorney never objected to that evidence. So moving forward, because I mean, you pretty much stated what I wanted you to state. Well, let me ask you this here. After they found you guilty, what did they say about appeal?
They told me I can't file an appeal. The judge told me that.
I'm going to tell you why I believe they said that, because I think they forged your signature, and what they're going to try to do is use their positions to say that you signed that. But that's quite all right. That's quite all right, because guess what? Nobody in their right mind would do that, because they already knew that that writ of habeas corpus was coming, and this is what they're going to try to use. So that's why I say it at every step of the way. If they felt like the evidence that they had, you don't need to. You can't never force nobody to do that. But if moving forward, if there any else thing you want, I don't want to hold you long. I just wanted my subscribers, and I also wanted this to get out as testimony, as evidence, so when I do file your writ, I'm able to advert to it.
Okay. Well, there is definitely something else that I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the trial, after I had gotten convicted and everything like that, they asked me, to step out of the room into the waiting space. It's not when you get to the holdovers. It's right before you get to the holdovers where the attorneys talk to the prisoners or inmates on the other side of the glass. And so right there where those 3 chairs are, I'm standing right there. They started cheering, congratulating, praising the DAs for their conviction. The young lady DA, whose name is Callie Reiner, it was her first trial. The judge said to her, "Congratulations on your first conviction." She said, "See, it's easy. It's really easy." What's easy? What's easy about it? I'm innocent.
See, it's easy because they have a well scheme where they will all conspire against you, and then when you try to take it to a higher court, they try to use their position to tell a court, "Look, we all witnessed this." But the beauty about this particular case, I had already told her that the judge, and I already called him out because I saw it. The only way a judge would allow a defendant to remain in custody in jail and not tell attorneys to move the trial, they was mad because the first thing they wanted was a plea bargain. They brought her a plea even before they even had any discovery. So moving forward, my job is coming this Monday to have that writ of habeas corpus filed in the very same court with the very same people. So this is why in that sworn affidavit, I got to let it be known that the judge, call him by name, the DA, call him by name, and everybody that dealt with this case conspired against Omni Williams to get a conviction. You should have seen the incompetent witnesses that they had on there. None of them gave their credentials. Her attorney never questioned their credentials, the real background, and how many trials that they testify, and if there's a standard that they use. But the same thing is, it's easy when they do this here, people. When they just walk through, your attorney just sit there. But I'm going to let you have the floor again, Omni, before you go. And if there's anything else you want to say, I'm just letting you know over the weekend, starting later on when I get off here, all the way up to Sunday, I'm going to be working on your writ, and it'll be filed up in there. So, but I'm also file a motion for a new trial for you, spelling out the reasons. That's what that is. And I'm going to make sure that motion for a new trial is sworn to by a notary. So I'll have it filed stamped. And I'll stand by everything that I say in there.
Okay.
So if you got nothing else to say, I won't hold you any longer.
Yes, I do have something else I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say that in this situation, which they ended up sentencing me to 35 years.
Okay.
And I want to actually say that that's completely excessive. And for them to try to get me to waive my right to a discovery before the trial even began, to completely overshoot the punishment for the crime that was committed. Now, of course, I'm saying that this alleged crime, is a horrible, heinous crime, something that I would never do. And I do completely understand that a person that would do something so vile and disgusting does deserve punished. But a person does deserve to have a good, clean, fair trial. And I did not receive that, not at all. My attorney, Philip Barton, might as well have been one of the DAs. Any one of them could have switched places and the same outcome would have come to pass, because not one of those people was on my side. I was up there on the chopping block all by myself, not even able to speak or say anything. I had absolutely no type of representation. I stood up and I told the judge that I had no representation. My attorney is not doing anything to represent me. Obviously, anybody that was in the courtroom was able to see that. She told me, even before he was asked to bring forth any of his witnesses, asked to say anything again to the jury or anything as far as the defense side of the argument case for the case, She already told me before any of that took place or was supposed to take place that the case was already over, that she didn't want to hear any of that, that I told her about the motions and everything. I was trying to tell her about the motions I tried to send in, everything that was going on with the case, how long it took for him to come visit me, how many times I've actually seen him during the 16 months that I've been incarcerated here. She said she don't want to hear anything about that. All of that is going to be up to appeals. The case is already over. How is the case over when the jury hasn't even deliberated? How is the case over when this man hasn't even called one witness and you haven't even asked him to call any witnesses? How is the case already over? That let me know right then and there that they already knew what they were going to do to me. They already knew what they wanted to have done to me. They already knew that they just had me on the chopping block and they were already having this whole fun game or whatever the case may have been, and I was the subject of their, amusement. And so with that being said, when I stepped out of the courtroom after having been convicted, they started cheering, having a good old time, as if they were having a Christmas party or something like that, celebrating somebody's birthday. It was like one of the happiest days of their life, sentencing me to 35 years for something that I didn't do. When I have told these people repeatedly that I'm an innocent person, actually fact check some of this stuff that you're supposed to be doing. Do some type of due process or something in somebody's case. You just have no idea what it's like to have to sit in here for 16 months, the people that you have to deal with. Over and over again, having to fight for your life, having to wake up every morning and not know if the person sitting right next to you is trying to stab you in the back. You don't know what's going on in this type of place. You don't know what these people are thinking of. And at the end of the day, you got to continue to sit in this type of place because the person that said that they were going to represent you, really they were lying. They were representing the state. Now, somebody needs to stand up and say something about this because I know I'm not the only person that this happened to. Somebody needs to stand up and say, hey, you know what? Maybe some of these people we need to actually check and see if some of these statements are actually real or if they're false. At the end of the day, I understand anybody can stand up and say, tell a lie or whatever the case may be. They have to have some type of process to fact check. I asked this man, can I have a polygraph test? At least give it to me. At least look at it. Let's see what it says. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that could have easily canceled this whole case from the beginning. He says, no, I can't have that. I didn't understand why he decided not to represent me at all from day one, but still continued to hold on to my case all the way up into conviction and then pat the man on the back, the DA, and tell him congratulations for his conviction. I don't understand that. But, everything happens for a reason.
Well, let me say this here. The reason why it happened is because this is a business. They try to look good. They want their resume to look good for convictions. But here's the deal. Once that judge told you it was over with, see, the judge already knew your attorney would do it. They knew this. This is why they did not want me to be put on the oath for you. But see, this is the thing. That motion for new trial, see, I have reason to believe when I go down there and try to file this motion for new trial for you, that they're going to refuse to file it. But that's quite all right. I'm going to be recording. That motion for new trial going to talk about judicial misconduct, prosecutor misconduct, your attorney, all of them conspire. I called it out, people, way before. And that's why I called her, oh, you know what? I didn't cut no words, people. I can see it. She don't get no presumption of, it ain't there. We got to quit going along with this nonsense. It ain't there, people. I told her this day would come, and I told her how they would do it. This is how they do it. They're using a position to try to cover up a crime that they committed in their judicial capacity. But this is why her attorney kept saying he didn't have to do discovery. Well, why is it that he was trying to trick her and make her sign waiving her right to discovery if you didn't need it? See, people, once your attorney failed to do discovery, your whole conviction can be overturned. It's ineffective. So now my task is to put the writ up. And when I do file a writ, I will upload page by page the arguments and what I'm using. But like I said, people, they're so corrupt down there. They got friends. The judge got friends. They don't want to be exposed because that whole system is like that. And so they have an interest in protecting it. So now, like I said, y'all seen the videos. I went down and talked to the judge. I asked him, why didn't he file discovery? He got smart, called me Mr. Lawyer. I told him, no, Mr. Simmons. But when I called him incompetent, he wanted to fight. I wish he would have hit me because I would have broke his neck. I would have been justified. Well, Omni Williams, I'm going to hold you. And if Karen want to call in, I'm going to wait 5 minutes. But I rest assured that writ will be filed Monday. In all the statements, I will back it up with a sworn affidavit under penalty of perjury. So, and the reason why that they was able to do this to you because you just one of many prisons that's passing through, and it's business as usual, and they deal with this. They have to work together to make it appear that you got a fair trial because they don't want those reversals. They don't want those reversals.
Okay.
So I won't hold you up. Thank you, and be strong, and I got your back.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bye-bye.
See, people, why would a judge, the DA, and the prosecutor, prior to trial starting, try to get her to sign documents saying, waive your right to attack this evidence? Are you out of your mind? See, people, I called it from the beginning. That's why she was a dog to me. She's still a dog. She knew who I was. That's why when I told her who I was, she kind of who? They've already been talking. They know. If I'm in court telling the judge that this attorney is trying to prevent me from testifying, I sent letters to him. See, the whole criminal conspiracy. See, that judge thinks she don't know them allegations I'm gonna make against her. I told you. I want to call her name, but you know, I want this to get a lot of traction to where, but I got a name for it. Y'all know what the name is. You know, it started with a B. You know what I'm saying? They got like an I and a TH and stuff up in there. You know what I'm talking about. So when I saw the way that they was doing this year, it made me sick. That's when I realized that people stop giving credibility to these. The detective got to understand that first, when she volunteered to talk to the detective, there's a video. They don't want to show the video. So he said he filled out the probable cause affidavit. It wasn't there. And so I'm like, okay. I was waiting for the attorney to ask him, why did you never arrest her after the interview? He kept saying, oh, well, he didn't know nothing about the case. The attorney keep letting him testify to hearsay. And the crazy thing about it, no one that allegedly did the forensic interview was there. They had somebody else like, my friend or Jane Doe did this here. I'm just reading from here. All this is improper. And that whole thing about the forensic interviews, that stuff is not admissible to a certain extent because they kept trying to act like, oh no, you know, the child was saying this. And here's the crazy thing. All these organizations that exist, I'm a Friends for Aligned Children, they prey on the kids. They start these businesses to get government grants like they care for the kids, but what they actually doing is entrapping the parents with these allegations. Check this out, people. Like in Texas, it's a case on this just recent. The defense in a particular case told the court, hey, the prosecutor needs to give us these witness statements dealing with the interviews and stuff like that. The prosecutor said, no, we ain't got to give you that. And they said, well, how are we supposed to prepare for trial? So it went to the Court of Appeals on a mandamus. The Court of Appeals said, give it to him. The Court of Criminal said, give it to him. Texas legislators turned around and created a law to kind of block it. So when you go to trial on this, the way that they did it, it was laughable because her attorney was going to sleep. The judge saw this. And I got a video of it. See, and he did this, even though this is one day, you can tell that the man is sickly, right? Now, if you tell me that you never got my letters, your paralegal tell me you never got my letters. With her letters telling you what she needs you to do. And I prove that you got them. The judge know you got them. They know that right there alone it's so many things. But see, once again, until I file a writ, but let me tell you how fast this works. I file a writ Monday morning in this very same court. I'm going to be recording because when I go down there with the writ, when they get it, these clerks love to stop and read it. They're going to stop and read it. And they're going to see what it's saying. They're going to call that judge. Call the judge. And they may try to arrest me, which I'm not afraid of that. But watch. Once it's filed, I'm going to get a file stamp copy. I'm hoping that I can do it electronically through the filing system. So you pay your little fee, hook it up, and you scan it. It's there. What's going to happen is this. When it's filed, the state attorney, one of the state attorneys must defend that writ. They have 30 days to respond. So if you go look up Article 1107, writ of habeas corpus procedure, you're going to, if you find the right article on it, it's going to tell you once it's filed, the state attorney must address each allegation. They have to deny it or say, hey, we need to have an evidentiary hearing. Let's say they deny it. Once they deny it, it goes straight to the Court of Criminal Appeals by operation. But now let me tell y'all something about our Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. We have a lady on there, I think her name's Sharon Keller. They've been on there for a long time. I'm going to be careful what I say because it's appeal. I'm just going to tell you she has some unorthodox views to where she tried to, it was an actual innocent case where the dude was found innocent by virtue of the evidence, but she sustained the verdict instead of overturning it. And then some of the federal court of appeals for the area rest out and got the case and reversed it, took it from her and said, no, what you saying don't make sense. See, people, they have turned our justice system to an organization to use against you to deprive you of your rights by trying to make it look like that they gave you your rights. But I called it before it happened. I saw it before it happened because I understand what they do. So now, like I said, them documents they try to get us to sign to waive up. Why would your attorney do that? Because he know that I can get it overturned based on that. So once again, people, I'm just going to sit. I already got the case law and everything. My task now, sit down, state it how I want to argue it. And so that's what I will be doing from here on out to this day until early Monday morning. And when it's done, I'm going to be recording. Actually, I'm going to be live recording it. I don't know how this will work the way this camera is, but I'm going to live record it when I go. Before I even step in the courtroom, I'm going to be in front of the court. Well, I'm going to have to turn. I can't do it till I get in because I got to go through metal detectors, so I have to take off the thing. But I'm going to go in the bathroom and do my thing. And they probably watching right now knowing what I'm going to do because I called them out. I told them about my station. I said, well, I covered this extensively on Speak Van Holden 247. And they went and they looked and they realized, yeah, he know what he talking about. So guess what? We got to really try to band together, use our positions. But the problem is, every move you made is you don't tell a defendant prior to trial.
This is a free call from
Shoot.
an incarcerated individual at Dallas County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept this free call, press 1. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello? How you doing? Say your name and your felony case number.
Oh, I don't have my case information.
Okay, I'll help you out. What is your name?
Karen Goana, Vega.
And this is Karen Goana. Her felony case numbers are F2176370, F2176371. What's going on with Slick Timothy Jeffries? Could you tell me why he keep coming up there? Like I noticed y'all got a hearing today, but I want you to recap me on what you told me earlier today about him pulling you out with the judge, trying to get me and somebody else come. You just take the floor and go ahead.
Yeah, so they told me that they wanted you and my parents to
Hold up. Could you start over?
I said they were telling me that they wanted my parents to come up here and that they were gonna have an interpreter to explain to my parents what was going on because they were saying that you were not telling them the truth. And she told me that she's like, do you remember what you told me in the last court date? And I said, last court date, and I said, yeah. And I was like, what did I say? I said, you said you didn't want it daughter to get in my case because he wasn't doing it good to me. But then she's standing there telling me that if I want to just ask my attorney that my parents have to look at what I wanted to do. But she's not looking at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Towards I want you in my case. But see, what they're getting mad at, they can't do me what they do to other people because they know you know.
Yeah, but let me ask you. You keep cutting off. I don't know how close you are to what you talk. You'll cut off at times.
Oh, it's the Wi-Fi.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the judge told me that she didn't want you to be getting in my case. Like,
well, tell her ain't nothing she can do. If she feel like it's something to do, send a court order or tell her to sit up. Sit down.
Yeah. So whenever she told me that the last time that I went to court with her, and then she told me that I needed to do that if I wanted to Jeffrey to be my attorney, it was for my best interest, and that's what I wanted to do on my case. So I was gonna tell her there, well, I want Theodore to be on my case. That's for my best.
Well,
interest.
listen. I can't be on your case, but listen to me. He's not on your case. Tell him you need a court-appointed attorney.
I'm gonna let them know. I'm gonna let them know because he told me that the judge said that she was not gonna give me another attorney.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll make them give you one. I'll drop a writ down there too. So go ahead and continue.
Yeah, and so I got bothered because she was pretty much telling me what I had to do on my case and who I wanted to be and who she wanted to be and not to be. So this is my case, and this is on my best interest.
Well,
I don't want them to railroad me for nothing.
Why they kept calling you out? I've seen about the last 4 or 5 times they keep calling you out like an announcement. What's going on when they've been calling you out for the last 4 or 5 days?
They keep trying to pretty much tell me to keep Tim Jeffries, and Tim Jeffries told me that the judge had said that she was not going to give me an attorney. But see, when I was down there talking to him, I told him I would need you to put in a motion for discovery. He said there was no need for motion for discovery, and he got a little bit of an attitude. And he said there's no need of motion for discovery because they already have one. And I said, yeah, but not on my behalf. And he said there's no need for one, with an attitude, and that shit got me bothered.
Who said there wasn't no need for discovery for you?
Tim Jeffries.
Okay, see, at this point, the judge right now, they trying to force attorneys on people. Like I told you, people that have a custom practice of policy, telling these lawyers not to defend you. See,
yeah.
And let me ask you this. You say the judge asked Tim Jeffries if he wanted to do a tort or something. Could you explain what that was going about?
A what?
You say the judge asked Tim Jeffries if he wanted to do something to me, and he said no. What was it?
She told Tim, and she said, Mr. Tim, would you like to make like a report of a threat against Mr. Theodore Simmons? And he said, no, I don't want to do that.
You see, he can't make a threat. I never made a threat. The threat is this. You had her father sign a contract in which you never intended to honor and you knew was void from the inception. And so then you try to come back and say, oh, we got to explain this part to him. Okay, if you got to explain this part to him, according to the Texas Supreme Court case, DFW versus Venzat, that contract was void from inception. See, the judge is trying to make it valid. She can't make it valid. All you have to do, what do you want to tell Tim Jeffries and the judge right now? What do you want to tell him this? Today is January 19, 2024. What do you want to tell your judge, and what do you want to tell Mr. Tim Jeffries?
Well, what I want to tell my judge is that I want a fair jury trial, and I want my motions to go through, and I want her to approve my motions that I want to get like the motion for discovery. I want my attorney to attack the indictments, and they're not doing it. And I'm trying to do as much as I can on my behalf, but they do not want to do it. They keep telling me one thing and another thing, and that's not acceptable towards my eyes. It's not, because my life is on the line, my freedom is on the line, and I have 8 children I gotta get home to, and just for these lies, it's unfair. I don't feel they're doing I feel like they're violating my rights.
Oh, they ain't no feel like they are when they refuse to represent you. Well, let me ask you this: is Tim Jeffries your attorney?
No, and I don't want him to be anymore, especially for what I saw today. And you know what? The thing that got me, like, what the F was that she got in the information right on the computer, and she said she's so glad that Tim Jeffries is my attorney. Why? Because why was that? Because I got the feeling that I always have. I trust my gut, and I know they're gonna try to convict me, and Tim Jeffries is gonna try to, go around with the DA and all that. And you know what? After that shit happened, he's over there talking to the other party's attorney and shit. Like, ain't nothing happened right now. Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's because it's like this here. They got this big backlog, and they don't care about justice. But see, the majority of the world are not focusing on that. The majority of the world focusing on this petty crime. This is one of the biggest crimes. This is treason of this country for these judges to sit up in there and pretend to be representing. This is why you have to understand the law, people, because I saw it coming. That's why I was able to call it. That's why I didn't cut no bones about it. So if it ain't nothing else you want to say, Karen, I'm gonna let you go, because I know I just wanted to get this on the record so I can use it later on.
Yeah, all I want to say is that the people that are in here do not trust the attorneys, because they are working with the DA and with the judge. It's like you're playing in a Barbie house. We're the Barbies, and they're playing in the house of the Barbies, and we are the people who are getting fucked over with our freedom and time and everything. Ain't nobody gonna give us that back but God. But I know God is justified, and He has mercy, and the truth will come out, and the truth will set me free. I believe.
Hey, just stick in there. Like I said, don't sign nothing. They keep trying to get you to sign thing. Let me ask you this here. I looked at your case. It's not active at all. They don't have you going to trial. They tried to take your trial a while back, and I stopped that. Why you haven't went to jury trial yet? Why they ain't set this for trial yet?
Because they don't have any proof. They're trying to find a way to manipulate me mindly, and try to get me to sign something. I ain't signing shit.
Well, let me ask you, I just looked on the docket today, too. They got you going to a hearing on January the 25th. It say motion to withdraw attorney. But let me tell you something. He hasn't filed a motion to withdraw yet. And you can tell that judge, your mom and father ain't coming down there. I'm not coming down there. And if she want us down there, file a court order to get us down there. Cause we ain't coming. She don't have no authority over us, and we ain't finna come in there and give her no authority over us. Cause that's just what that is. So you can tell her, if she want to talk to me, send me an email.
Okay. I'm going to let her know, and I'm going to get it down with him when I go to court. Because you said, baby daddy said, let him know what's up. So I'm going to go ahead.
You got to let him know. Look. Yeah. When you already see
that I'm not scared.
When you already see they trying to mess over you, it ain't no reason to keep pretending. You fighting for your life.
I'm not fighting no more.
They fighting for your life.
Playing with me no more.
And that's just what that is. So y'all be safe and be strong. And I'll still be in contact. Any developments, call me. Just call me.
I will.
Okay, so you have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.
Yeah. See, people, it's crazy. They've been doing this for years. So, and that's what that is. Imagine being arrested and charged. You know you're innocent. They get you a lawyer. I told you, people. I called it because I saw it. Whenever your attorney starts filing discovery, let me explain something to y'all. when these court-appointed attorneys and these lawyers get up, they have to build up their resume. And if you notice, you go to the websites, people go, they give these attorneys 3 and 4 stars. Well, they don't know the law. They don't really understand what these folks doing. But I'm going to tell you like these people, I called it. That's why I talk so bad about it. I talk bad about all of them because this is what you're doing. That's what you do to criminals, okay? So they did everything I said they would do before they did it. Now, how would I know that? I look at the docket, look at what your attorney is supposed to be doing, look at why your case is not being moved. People, listen, don't ever in your life hire an attorney. Let them give you a court-appointed attorney. See, because it ain't gonna make a difference. That attorney took $15,000 from their mom, or Karen going to mom and dad, gave them another $3,000 in down. Now let me tell you something. On the 16th of this month, y'all saw the video. They was current. They was paying them. I had to step in and say, listen, don't pay them nothing anymore. Why? Because the contract he had you sign is not even valid. So then when he called them, threatening them to come back to the office, see, if I wouldn't have been there, who knows what amount he would have put in there? 20,000, 30,000. Who knows? This is what these judges do. Take all their money. When they convicted, they don't have enough money to hire a lawyer for appeal. Do not waste. I don't care if you have $150,000 in the bank. You can't afford an attorney. You can't afford one. You can have $1 million and can't afford an attorney, because the minute that attorney tell you, I charge $500 an hour, your money go that quick. He send you a bill, you don't pay him. He jump off the case. He sue you for the rest of it. It's a trick, people. Never, ever get you a court-appointed attorney. Work him, make him work. Make sure you keep a paper trail. Once you get arrested, you want to get his email, get his address, contact somebody out there to tell this man, file a motion for speedy trial. Don't just do it one time. Every 2 weeks, you want a letter going to your lawyer. Hey, man, set it for trial, speedy trial, file a motion for discovery. Please file it. Once you do this here and your lawyer set on your case and don't do anything, when it's time to go to trial, don't ever take the stand. Just sit there. Let them do what they do. Because they know that once you can prove that your lawyer failed to carry out your wishes. See, Omni Williams didn't have a chance. When I went in that courtroom and I sit down and I saw it, I was shaking and I was just mad. And I can tell you right then and there, people, those people are worthy. You know what they're worthy of? They are worthy. Yeah, they are worthy to be removed from our society. Definitely. You know what I'm talking about. See how they running people up through there? I don't know, somebody, well, I'm gonna have to go. People calling, but I ain't seen the comments because it's so little. I ain't got my. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. Welcome back to Speak Fair and Holding. Y'all have a nice evening. I got some serious work to do. I'm signing off.